In this lesson, we talk about solving one-step equations algebraically. First of all, what is one-step equation? One-step equation is a type of equation that you need only, as comes from the name, one step to solve it. Before getting to that, let's look at some examples, some ideas. Say if you have 7 plus 8. So what I have here, I have 7 and I'm adding 8 to that. If I take away 8 from this, so I have 7, I add 8. So I got 7 plus 8. Now I'm taking away 8 which I added in the first step. So what will I end up with is 7 itself. So in other words, if you have any number like x and then you add another number to that like say 5 or any other number and then take away 5, you end up with x. Because whatever you added here, you're taking away here. You end up with your original number that you had. Similarly, if I had 7 and I times it by 2, I get 2 times 7. And then I divide whatever I have again by 2, I will end up with 7, which was my original number. So I write it here in the form that probably is easier to follow. So I have 7, I added 8 to that, that becomes 7 plus 8. Then I'm taking away 8 and I end up with 7, with the original number. Similarly here, I had 7 here. I multiplied it by 2. I got 2 times 7. So we don't have to worry about working this out. If you want, you can work it out too. But you would see that we get the same. Then, if I divide again by 2, I will end up with 7. So 7 times 2, or 2 times 7 gives me 14, and if divided by 2, I go back to 7. So what I'm trying to say is, if you do an operation on a number like 7, and then you undo it, you end up with your original number. Similarly, if you divide also, and then you times to undo it, you will end up with your original number. So for example, if I had 6, I had the number 6, then I times it by 3, so I have 6 times 3. Then I divide again by 3, I end up with 6. Okay, these are the things that we need to be aware of in solving equations with one step. Okay, the other thing that you need to look at is if you have x, similar to what we just did, and for instance, I times it by 3, that becomes 3x, like it was here. Then if I divide by 3, I go back to x. So, in solving one-step equations, we undo the operation done on the pronumeral. That's the first thing you need to remember. The second thing you need to remember, which we talked about that so far, is in an equation, any operation has to be done on both sides. Has to be done on both sides. All right. Having these two in mind, let's look at solving some equations. Example 1. Solve x plus 4 equal to 11. I know you already know how to solve this by guessing, which is what number plus 4 is 11, and the answer is 7. But that's not what we're doing here. We are doing it algebraically because it's not possible to guess the answer of any question, any equation, but you can use algebra to solve any type of equation. Okay, so the question here is this. Solve this equation. So what we do, we look at what has happened to x. So find the operation on x. The operation on x. Okay, we see you have x. Look at the left-hand side. This side, this. So we had x, then what has happened to that? We added 4 to that to end up with x plus 4. Now I want to go from x plus 4 back to x. What I need to do, I need to do the opposite operation that has happened, which is take away 4. Because here I added 4. Now, if I did that, I end up with x. Okay, this guides me as to what operation I need to do. So we had x plus 4 equal to 11. Now, I know that to get back to x, I need to subtract 4. So subtract 4. But if you're doing to one side, you got to do the same to the other side. That's what we're doing. Now, back here, based on what discussion we had at the start, if I have x, I'm adding 4 and taking away 4. So I'm going back to my x. Or you can see that here you have x. Then equal to 11 take away 4 is 7. And that is your answer. All right. Let's look at another example. Solve x minus 2 is equal to 8. All right, again, look at the left-hand side. That is the left-hand side. And see what has happened to x. Start with x and see how you can, what operation you need to do to get to the left-hand side. So obviously I need to take away 2. So I need to take away 2 and I get to my left-hand side. Now I have my left-hand side. I need to see what operation I need to do to go back to x. All right, this is 2 has been subtracted. I need to do the opposite operation, which is adding 2. So that guides me as to what I'm going to do with my equation. So I write it as x minus 2 equal to 8. So this is the operation I'm going to do, but it has to be done on both sides. And now x minus 2 plus 2. If I did that, I end up with my original value, which is x equal to 8 plus 2, 10. And that is my answer. X must be 10. And you know 10 minus 2 is 8. Another example. Solve 4x equal to 20. So what we're doing, again, we look at the left-hand side. Start with x and see what operation you need to do to go to the left-hand side, which is 4x. So 4x means 4 times x. So that means x has been times by 4. That's the operation that has been done on that. Now I want to go back from 4x back to x. And because it's been times by 4, I need to do the opposite operation, which is divide by 4. This now guides me as to what operation I need to do on my equation. So I write my equation again, and I do this operation, which is dividing by 4. But I got to do it to both sides. So 4x divided by x. X has been times by 4, not divided by 4. So you go back to your original value, which is x. 20 divided by 4 is 5, and that is your solution. As another example, solve p on 2 equal to 5. Again, look at the left-hand side. Start with the pronumeral that you have and see what operation you need to do to end up with the left-hand side. Remember, fraction means division, so it means you have divided p by 2. Okay, then this will inform you what opposite operation you need to do. Because we had divided by 2, we need to do the opposite operation, which is times in by 2. Now, if I did that, I end up with my original value of p. This informs me about the operation I need to do. So I write the equation again. That is the operation I need to do on both sides, which is times in by 2. And p divided by 2 and times by 2. They cancel out, and I end up with my original value of p, and 5 times 2 is 10. That is my answer to this equation. P equal to 10. And you know that 10 divided by 2 is 5. Remember, fraction means division. Thank you for your attention.